and welcome to the Plaza Theater. This is our second live broadcast for our Saturday Silent Cinema Classics. My name is Chris Escobar. I'm with the Plaza. I want to thank you for joining us either live or if you're going back and watching this from the past. I want to thank you for joining and watching. What we're doing here today and what we have been doing for a few weeks is a few different special screenings as a way to thank those of you who have supported the Plaza in this crazy time of need. Our Plaza Movie Club is including several screenings such as this one and our Rocky Horror Quarantine show, and then special other screenings including The Room. Today we're here broadcasting to you from the Plaza, which is Atlanta's oldest and only independently owned cinema. And we are very, very excited to be doing this very special thing for this 80-year-old theater. We've never really done any live broadcasts from here before. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, I want to tell you a little bit real quick. The organ here is an Allen orchestra organ that our very good friend Ken Double will tell you just a little bit more about in a second. But I want to thank all of you who have supported us, who continue to do so. If you feel compelled to, continue to go to our GoFundMe to continue to contribute. Encourage your friends to do so. And we're going to keep doing these as long as we can, as long as possible, and as long as you keep watching. So without any further ado, so we can start the show off, I want to introduce and welcome a very good friend of the Plaza and your organist for this evening, President of the American Theater Organ Society's Atlanta chapter, Ken Double.
Thank you, Chris, and I'll add my welcome to you all. A little behind-the-scenes story. One of the reasons we knew there might be an opportunity for our group, the Atlanta chapter of the American Theater Organ Society, to be able to place this wonderful Allen digital theater organ into the Plaza Theater was because Chris Escobar is the son-in-law of a guy named Hector Oliveira, who's one of the great organists in the entire world. And we already knew that Chris knew about theater organ, and this might work. And so we are thrilled to be able to showcase this great organ in digital mode. This is a digital version and a little smaller of what we have at the Atlanta Fox Theater, Big Mighty Mo. But these instruments were built in the 20s and designed to accompany silent film. So what is it that we do? It's interesting to spend a minute and provide a little education. Why 3 keyboards? Variety. I can have a sound up on this keyboard. I can have a main melody line is played on the second keyboard, and this is the accompaniment keyboard, which accompanies what is basically the singer here. In the movie, it's going to open with a church scene and the church bells ringing. So I can hit this button up here and play church bells up here. Later in the film, there is a scene that involves a piano being delivered. And so I can hit that button there, and now I have pianos. So we hit these little buttons that are preset for sounds that we want to have, and we use what we call the stop rail. These are stops, and we use the stop rail like an orchestra. And we have strings and reeds and flutes and oboes and brass, all at my disposal as to when I want to have them play, be it loud and full or soft and quiet, and all aimed at augmenting the action on the screen. If all this works right, hopefully just a few minutes in, you'll even forget I'm here and get engrossed in this wonderful comedy. This is 1920, starring the great stone-faced Buster Keaton. And as usual, there is tremendous physical comedy, including one of the times that Buster used a tremendous gimmick that was very dangerous and demanded tremendous mathematical background. The wall of a building is going to fall, and he is going to be standing right where the window goes so he doesn't get hit by the falling wall. He used this bit many, many times, and I'm not sure if this is the first time he did it, but whatever. It's a great bit. It's part of the great physical comedy that is Buster Keaton. Usually it's boy meet girl, boy finally gets the girl, even in the comedies. In this case, he already got the girl. They've been married, and Uncle leaves them a house in a box that they can build. And that's the whole premise of this great comedy starring Buster Keaton entitled 1 Week. Enjoy. Keaton. And we're going to do this again next week, next Saturday at 3 o'clock. And this time, one of the other of the great four silent film comedians. There was Laurel and Hardy. We enjoyed Two Tars last week. Buster Keaton. Of course, Charlie Chaplin. And the great Harold Lloyd. And next week, it will be Harold Lloyd in Never Weaken, a wonderful, wonderful classic Harold Lloyd comedy. And yours truly will be back at the Allen Digital Theater organ and happy to provide the musical accompaniment and hopefully provide you a few laughs during this most unusual time in history and an unusual time in our lives. We also invite you to find out more about the American Theater Organ Society's Atlanta chapter at atlantaatos.org. That's atlantaatos.org. And we have, of course, the Atlanta Fox and Mighty Mo. We have a great instrument at Stevenson High School in Stone Mountain. And when life gets back to normal, we'll be playing those as well. But we also remind you of this important work to keep the Plaza Theater open and going and solvent and functioning. And you can do that with your support of the Plaza Theater through its foundation, through your membership, and through your individual support as well. Hope you enjoyed the afternoon. For Chris, this is Ken, and for the crew here and the staff that makes all this possible to do this live on a Saturday afternoon, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next Saturday at 3.